lose. That's the only way they would have thought it was entertaining.
Jake Paul finally spills the details on his epic clash with boxing legend Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, Logan Paul didn't hold back when sharing his thoughts on the Mike Tyson fight, declaring his brother's performance was flawless. While he admitted he loves Uncle Mike, Logan made it clear Tyson's impressive showing at 58 years old still couldn't overshadow Jake's dominance in the ring.
Logan, what do you make of Jake's performance tonight?
Absolutely stupendous.
What did you think of Mike Tyson?
I love Uncle Mike. He's just such a, I mean, like, that was impressive, no? For a 58-year-old. Hi, how are you? That was, yeah, he's like tough. Proud of him.
Meanwhile, with over 250 million viewers tuning in globally, Jake Paul acknowledged the fight as the pinnacle of his career. He humorously questioned how he could ever surpass such a monumental moment, describing the match as not just a career highlight, but an event that cemented his place in boxing history. The staggering reach, he noted, signified how much the world had come to care about his journey and the legacy he aimed to leave behind. A significant part of this success, Jake shared, was due to Netflix's creative collaboration. He praised the streaming giant for transforming the fight into a global spectacle, leveraging their platform to amplify its impact. By combining innovative storytelling with the event's inherent drama, Netflix ensured it was much more than just another boxing match. Meanwhile, professional boxer David Benavidez shared a more cautious perspective. He acknowledged that the fight offered great entertainment for fans, but expressed concerns about Tyson's future in the sport. Benavidez urged Tyson to consider retiring, believing it might be time for the legend to hang up his gloves and protect his legacy.
What did you think about Mike Tyson, David? What did you think about the Mike Tyson fight?
To be honest with you, I think it was a good fight, good turnout, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight no more. I think he hopefully hangs it up. I think it was a good show, but shit, he needs to retire.
Despite the overwhelming attention, Jake made sure to credit Mike Tyson's skill and resilience, emphasizing the legendary boxer's defensive sharpness and precise movements. Logan Paul described Tyson's abilities as impregnable, acknowledging how challenging it was to counter such a formidable opponent, even at Tyson's age. Their exchange in the ring, Jake admitted, tested him on levels he hadn't experienced before.
Was he hard to
Jones, another notable voice in the boxing community, weighed in on the fight, sharing mixed emotions about the event. He admitted it was difficult to watch an older Tyson get outmaneuvered by a younger Jake Paul. Jones also hinted at disturbing revelations about Tyson's dressing room preparations, adding a layer of controversy to an already charged event.
I did catch the fight. It was hard to see him so old. You know, Roy Jones Jr. kept saying it, man, those legs aren't working. It was really hard to see. He really sold it, you know, with the highlight videos of him training and his physique. I wish he went and showed us his ass. That was a little wild.
Jake elaborated on how his own speed, footwork, and power played a crucial role in neutralizing Tyson's offense. By employing a strategy focused on tactical execution, Jake managed to control the fight's rhythm and minimize Tyson's opportunities for dominance. He pointed out that every punch and movement was calculated, showcasing the strategic depth of the bout. Amidst all the seriousness, Jake captured the moment Tyson slapped him during the fight. He joked about the card's low quality, with an exaggerated visual of his face becoming an instant cultural meme. Yet he acknowledged its popularity, noting how even humorous moments like these contributed to the event's unforgettable leg. Responding to critics who claimed the fight was staged, Jake defended its authenticity, comparing it to low-scoring NFL games where strategy often takes precedence over spectacle. He argued that unpredictability is an inherent part of sports, and that his calculated approach limited Tyson's usual dominance. Highlighting the power of collaboration, Logan Paul described teaming up with Tyson and Netflix as a 1 + 1 1 = 10 scenario. He expressed pride in how this powerhouse trio created an iconic event that elevated the fight to unprecedented levels. The combination of legendary names and a global platform turned the match into a cultural phenomenon. Despite his fierce reputation in the ring, Jake revealed a softer, more reflective side, joking about his aspirations for a peaceful life outside of boxing. Without the sport, he shared, he could imagine living a simple hippie-like life in a van. This glimpse into his laid-back personality highlighted the contrast between his fiery public persona and his inner tranquility.
I'm actually not even violent. I actually want peace in the Middle East and peace in general.
Yeah.
And just I'm really a hippie, actually.
Jake Paul discusses the slap he received from Mike Tyson during their fight. Despite the visible impact and his head moving, Jake claims he didn't feel the slap at all due to his beard absorbing most of the impact. He emphasizes that there was no pain, stars, or wobbling and dismisses any notion of him being affected.
You know, he bent my earring too, like 90 degrees.
What do you mean?
Former boxing rival Evander Holyfield, however, expressed disappointment with Tyson's performance, pointing out visible struggles with his balance and lack of power. Holyfield speculated that there was something off with Tyson's legs, which might have hindered his usual ferocity in the ring.
What did you think of the fight?
It wasn't a good one.
It wasn't a good one. Yeah. Overall, how'd you just see how Jake fought, how Mike fought?
Well, you know, you can tell something was wrong with the Tyson leg.
Jake sentiment echoed by his brother Logan. Playfully, Logan chimed in, adding that the sport likely saved Jake from a chaotic lifestyle. Their banter highlighted not only their sibling dynamic, but also the transformative impact of boxing on Jake's life. In the aftermath of the fight, Jake reflected on the respect and sportsmanship he and Tyson shared. Despite the intense rivalry, the mutual admiration between the two fighters showcased the deeper bonds formed through competition, proving that boxing is as much about character as it is about combat. Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, however, remained critical of the event, refusing to condone what he saw as an influencer boxing freak show. Hearn admitted he stayed to watch a few rounds, but couldn't stomach seeing a legend like Mike Tyson outmatched by a younger fighter, adding to the polarized reaction surrounding the event.
I watched a couple of rounds. I don't want to criticize. I think one thing I'll say is I think Nikisa and Jake and MVP did an amazing job on the promotion.
Former boxer Roy Jones Jr. defended Mike Tyson's ability to compete at his age, taking on Jake Paul for a full 8 rounds. Despite criticism from those who cautioned Tyson against facing a younger opponent, Jones praised his performance and resilience in the ring.
First of all, my hat goes off to him for going 8 rounds with anybody.
Absolutely.
Period. You understand me? I mean, a 58-year-old going 8 rounds, I don't care if they're 2 minutes, 3 minutes. A 58-year-old going 8 rounds is out of this world.
John Jones expressed his respect for Mike Tyson as a boxing legend, emphasizing that the fans got exactly what they wanted in terms of entertainment. He noted that Tyson was generously compensated for his performance, and added that fans would eagerly return to watch him fight again if he steps back into the ring.
But I respect him so much for getting in there. You know, that was the cool part. You know, it's just, I'm sure, you know, they compensated him very well, and he got to give a bunch of fans what they wanted, which is just to be alive to see him compete, and for that part alone.
Evander Holyfield noted that Mike Tyson's balance was off, a sentiment echoed by Tyson's trainer. Holyfield also praised Jake Paul, calling him a tremendous fighter and expressing high hopes for his future as a boxing champion.
So he couldn't, his balance was off.
Oh, that's crazy. You noticed that. I just talked to his trainer and he told me that exact thing.
Yeah.
His balance was off.
His balance was off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, overall, like, how do you see Jake growing from this, and who do you want to see him fight against now?
Well, you know, I'm like, he's a pretty good fighter.
Paulie Malignaggi didn't hold back in slamming Jake Paul's performance against Mike Tyson, calling it a major step backward for the YouTuber turned boxer. He accused Jake of fighting scared, hesitant to throw meaningful punches, and looking far worse than in previous bouts, like his fight with Tommy Fury. Malignaggi expressed clear disappointment, claiming Jake's lack of growth proves he's not taking boxing seriously. In a sharp jab, he suggested Jake should ditch the gloves and stick to promotion, where his skills clearly shine brighter than in the ring.
That I'd like to see. Honestly, Jake fighting? Bro, I've been a guy who's defended him more than others, bro. But Saturday, he was very, very disappointing. I picked him to win, and he's won, but the only reason he won is because Mike was basically log-jammed into the ground, bro. He couldn't move to chase him down.
No balance, no legs.
Couldn't get to him. And that was bad, bro. If you're fighting scared shitless of a 58-year-old man who was on his deathbed 5 months ago, and you're look what he was non-committal to his punches. He was like, you know, again, you can carry somebody, you can halfway commit and stay right there. Now, Jake was throwing punches and jumping 40 feet back because he was so scared of what was coming back. That's not carrying somebody, guys. He can convince you morons, but people that have done it, we know how to carry somebody and not carry. Jake isn't good enough to carry anybody. Nope. But Jake honestly got worse. And that's disappointing to me, because he's not actually committing himself to boxing now.
Tommy Fury has expressed strong disapproval of legitimate world champions, such as Daniel Dubois, challenging Jake Paul to fights. He considers it embarrassing and inappropriate for unified or undisputed champions to seek bouts with someone like Paul, who lacks comparable professional boxing experience. Fury emphasizes that such matchups are unrealistic and reflect poorly on the sport.
Business-wise and commercial-wise,
mate,
it's unbelievable. And I ain't a guy to hate on other people. If someone's making £1 trillion, I'm going to say, well done, mate. And that's what I'm going to say to Jake Paul. Well done down the lens. It was a great commercial success. Both men got paid. Iron Mike got paid. You know, no injuries happened. No one was hurt. You know, fantastic. But for the fans and everyone who thought it was going to be a fight, not including me, because I knew it was always never going to be a fight. But, you know, as far as the fans, I'm sure it's a letdown for them. But business-wise, great.
You almost have to kind of respect it from that element in that, like, I mean,
how can you not? How can you not, mate? Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's making that level of money and not walking out with a scratch on them.
Adam Smith delivered a sharp critique of the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight, calling it a sobering reminder of Tyson's fading legacy. He acknowledged that fans shouldn't expect the ferocity Tyson displayed in his prime, but described the event as a disheartening and unsettling spectacle. Seeing the legendary fighter struggle against a significantly younger opponent left Smith profoundly unsettled, capturing the poignant reality of time catching up with even the greatest athletes.
I guess slightly going down memory lane for the young generation to see the aura of Mike Tyson, but I'm afraid he was a 58-year-old man, and I think we all really knew beforehand that Jake would win on points, and that, you know, Mike would be a very, very sad.
Former super middleweight world champion Carl Frosch has openly criticized Jake Paul's performance in his recent bout against 58-year-old boxing legend Mike Tyson. Paul claimed he held back out of respect for Tyson, but Frosch suggests that Paul's lackluster showing was due to insufficient skill and confidence to dominate the aging fighter. He highlighted that Paul's only legitimate professional fight against Tommy Fury ended in a loss, casting further doubt on Paul's boxing abilities. Frosch described the fight as a massive anticlimax, expressing disappointment that it failed to meet the hype and expectations surrounding it.
Mike Tyson. But yeah, just, what was it, 8 2-minute rounds of watching Mike Tyson walk around the ring, do a couple of little slips and throw 3 or 4 punches against Jake Paul that really didn't want to engage, and I don't think he had the bottle to stand in front of Tyson and try and do anything to get him out of there. So the build-up, the main event, the whole event build-up, the fact that it's on Netflix, the fact that there was allegedly 30 million people watching it, that's all well and good. But the end result, the actual finished product, was a load of rubbish. It really was poor, it was crap. You're never gonna watch that back again.
Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments, do you think Jake Paul has what it takes to stand toe-to-toe with Mike Tyson? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more epic boxing stories and updates. See you in the next one.